Good morning, my name is Dabel Musiega, admission number TED 4873/21, a fourth year, second semester student from the School of Education, Department of Technology Education, Moi University, main campus. I'm just here to give a brief summary of what happened during our trip to Mombasa. I had the opportunity to participate in Technology Trip 1, a trip to Mombasa, which commenced on 29th June 2025 to 4th July 2025. The trip was organized to help us gain practical experience and exposure by visiting real industries. Secondly, to help us know how modern technology is applied in Kenyan industries, and also help us connect our theoretical classroom knowledge with real-life applications. While at Mombasa, we had a chance to visit 6 companies. Just to mention them, we have the Associated Vehicle Assemblers, Mombasa Cement Limited, we have the Brolo Kenya, the Kipevu Thermal Plant, the Kenya Pipeline, and the Kenya Ferry Limited for services. On 1st July 2025, we visited our first company, which is the Associated Vehicle Assemblers Plant. It is an automotive manufacturing plant. It is one of the leading Kenya manufacturing vehicle plants. It manufactures different types of vehicles, such as the Mahindra, Toyota Hilux, Toyota Land Cruiser, and the Fuso commercial trucks. It manufactures vehicles from the semi-knocked down to completely knocked down vehicle parts, usually imported from the international manufacturers. The Associated Vehicle Assembly Plants provide safety to its workers and those visiting them by providing PPEs such as boots, head helmets while working, and also it offers suitable working conditions for their workers. There is the use of the fire alarms and emergency exits, and the use of pavements while working or walking inside the company. The AVA, or Associated Vehicle Assemblers, also has integrated the use of ICT by using the control systems or the conveyor systems in their day-to-day activities, and also the use of the CCTV surveillance to monitor the activities taking place at their company. Also, what I observed at AVA, I observed the use of automation and precision in their day-to-day activities. And some of the activities that I observed there were the chassis fitting, body mounting, and painting of various vehicle parts. Yeah, that's what I learned while I was at AVA. Our second company that we visited is the Mombasa Cement Limited Company. Mombasa Cement Limited Company, it is the leading producer of cement in Kenya and even worldwide. Mombasa Cement Limited produces 2 types of cement. It also maintains the safety of their workers. For example, they have provided their workers with PPEs such as boots and head helmets. They have placed placards all over their companies. One of the placards that I read, observe safety first. Also, at Mombasa Cement, I observed some of the raw materials that they use in cement production. For example, we have the limestone, we have the coal, we have the river sand. And the activities that I observed while I was there include the clinker production, cement grinding, limestone crushing, and cement packaging and distribution. At Mombasa, there are challenges that faces the industries, such as during cold weather, their limestone, their river sand usually clogged with moisture, making it difficult for them to crush it easily. Also, there is the dust challenge, in that in case you are an allergic person who is allergic to dust, you may face challenges while visiting Mombasa Cement Company. And also while at Mombasa, we saw how they have integrated ICT to their day-to-day activities. For example, we saw they have automated their systems, in that the systems are automated to help them monitor their day-to-day activities. And also there is the use of the CCTV surveillance to help them monitor the activities that are taking place at their company. The third company that we visited is the Kenya Pipeline Company. The Kenya Pipeline Company was founded in 1973. It is one of the leading fuel manufacturers company in Kenya. One of the activities that I observed in Kenya Pipeline Company is the storage of fuel by use of underground pipelines. And another activity that we observed there is that there is quality checks or quality check control of the fuel that is usually imported at their company through the use of their lab, where the fuel that is imported is first checked before it is being stored if it meets the quality of what was ordered. At Kenya Pipeline Company, we also had a chance to visit their control room, where we interacted with different engineers on the use of the SCADA system and the fiber network or the fiber optic networks. The SCADA systems control the real-time monitoring of what is happening at the company or the fuel that is being distributed or transported. The fuel is pumped by the use of pressure at KPC or at their substations. For example, while the fuel is being transported, it is transported once, but between the fuel, for example, between kerosene and diesel, there is an interface that separates the fuel to prevent their mixing. But in case there is mixing, the mixed fuel is stored in a separate tank from the one that is not mixed. Yeah. For their safety measures, we were told not to enter the company with cigarettes, not to enter the company with anything that may produce heat to cause fire or expulsion. We also observed their engineers were dressed in PPEs, for example, boots and head helmets, and we are told to use pavements while walking. And also we were told that in case of an emergency, there is an assembly point that is positioned where we will all assemble there and will be told the way forward from there. The challenges that I observed or we learned while we were there, it is that in case the fuel that was ordered does not meet the quality checks, it is usually taken back. Yes. The fourth company that we visited is the Kenyan, which is the Kipevu Thermal Plant. At Kipevu Thermal Plant, we had a chance to learn that it uses heavy fuel oil to produce power. At Kipevu Thermal Plant, we also learned that it acts as a supplement during peak demands, in that in case there is less supplement of power, it usually comes in place. We also had a chance to interact with the control room engineers, where they also use the SCADA systems to monitor the real-time happenings at Kipevu. We also saw the running of the diesel engine to produce power. And through their safety measures, we observed their engineers who are dressed in PPEs, such as the boots and the head helmets. And the challenge faced there is that they usually trip in power, or they may produce power which is of less demand, and when they take it to Kenya Power, the power may finish fast before the expectation, which makes them to always have a demand in power. And their first and only client is the Kenya Power Lightning Company. The fifth company that we visited is the Brolo Kenya. Brolo Kenya is a steel manufacturing company, and it is the largest steel manufacturing company in East Africa and Kenya. It produces mill steel pipes and custom sheet metal products. We observed the cutting, the rolling of the steels at Brolo Kenya, and also learned about the welding processes that are performed at Brolo Kenya and the steel production. At Brolo Kenya, I had a chance to learn that steel production boosts the economic growth, as the steel is usually used in all infrastructural processes. Yes. The sixth and our last company is the Kenya Ferry Services. Kenya Ferry Services, it's a company that facilitates the ferry crossing across the Likoni Island and mainland. At Kenya Ferry Services, we had a brief session where we were taught on their safety measures. For example, the use of life jackets, how they facilitate the large volumes of people crossing the Likoni ferry services. And we also learned that at Likoni services, they have integrated their safety by use of automated ticketing for their passengers. We also learned how higher volumes require extensive monitoring and precision to facilitate them from not endangering their lives. Yes. In conclusion, Technology Trip 1 to Mombasa has given us hands-on experience in engineering world environments. It has also helped us to gain the practical experience and exposure by visiting different industries at Mombasa, and also to connect our classroom theoretical knowledge with the real life experiences. Thank you.